Hey, see this? A little bit more up close, tighter shot. That is a nice finesse jig right there. You can do this with flipping jigs. You can do it with football jigs. You can do it with arkies, whatever. My jig is the round ball. Normally, I have some balling out jigs by my guy Swindle. I had some 3/8, half ounce, and 3/4, but I think I'm out. So I had to order these. He's gonna send me some more. I just haven't got them yet, right? Happy hands, happy hands. All right, today. Man, it's bright up in this mug. What's going on, everybody? Out here in the hillbilly bootios, what I call it. It's where I keep my boat, I got all my music equipment and stuff like that, you know, all the fun stuff out here. Today, I'm gonna do a short video on how to make your own jig, the easy way, the fast way, and the best quality way. Trust me, this is gonna be better than any jig that you buy in the stores, unless it's like hand tied and you're paying like $10 a jig for them, whatever. Right here, I've got my little jig box, and actually I had a package come in from Tackle Warehouse, and I'll show you. This little box right here is what I ordered from Tackle Warehouse, and it was probably like 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. Like 4-5 skirts, maybe. I got 2 packs of round ball finesse heads, because I like round ball jig heads. 7/16 and half ounce is what I got. I got some of the little, some of these right here. This is what I like tying my jigs with when I'm doing it this way, because it's super fast. I usually tie them up with like florist wire and do that whole deal, but when you ain't got time or you're just tired of doing it like that, Fishing Skirts, in my opinion, has the best jig, spinnerbait, buzzbait, any kind of powder paint. They've got the best powder paint. I mean, prove me wrong. Tell me somebody else that's got wicked looking powder paint like it. They got all kinds of crazy stuff, but their bands that they have are really tiny, they're really tight, and they will hold up on the collar of the jig and compress that skirt to where it gives it that little bit of poof. But I also have another tip that I'm gonna show you that will give it even more poof and just give it not too much, not like an umbrella, but just like just a little bit of body to it, you know what I mean? These are like $2 or something, 50 pieces in this little pack right here. I've got me a tackle box laid out to where I keep all my jig skirts, or most of my jig skirts, in here. This is the normal skirts that I usually tie, which is like green pumpkin, army green pumpkin, pale ale, burnt orange, blue. I'm out of black. So I'm usually tying like green pumpkin and orange. The skirts that I tie is going on like a finesse jig. So I always fish round balls. You know, that's my favorite jig. You know, you can do this with any jig that you want. This is a round ball. I love round balls. Stop. Round ball jigs are my favorite. I think they're, you know, like I said, they're the most versatile. You can skip them, you can drag them, you can swim them, you can cast them, you can do whatever. I like them. Not unless I'm in like Florida or something like that, which never happens. Like, I'm not gonna be flipping mats around Smith Mountain Lake. Enough with the bull crap. How I tie these jigs, number one, it saves you a lot of skirts, because these little finesse jigs, I only tie 1 tab and a half. So right here, I'm just gonna do a green pumpkin. This is like a straight up regular green pumpkin. I'll link everything in the description below. So the jig skirt, skirting tool, I mean, hell, I'll even put the scissors in there, whatever, the little bands, you know, all this stuff came from Tackle Warehouse, which Tackle Warehouse is the only place I can find this stuff in stock. What I like to do is I like to get one tab just like this of you know, whatever color you want. This is green pumpkin. I'm just gonna fold it over and I'm gonna cut it in half. Make sure it's even. Then I'm just gonna cut it in half like so. Lay that to the side, and then I'm gonna get my, let's do this color right here. This is like a burnt orange Dalmatian. I'm gonna do the same thing with this. So I'm just gonna get a tab, fold it over, make sure it's even, okay, before you cut it. Slice that bad boy in half. See, I got my jig head, skirts, get my little collar, get my little skirt making tool, which was like $3 at Tackle Warehouse. go ahead and, the cool thing about like these tackle boxes is you can take them in the boat with you. So if you're like, oh man, I lost my jig and I don't have any more, but I got my little tackle box, so I can just make them. You can use your tackle box as a workstation. These colors right here, the green pumpkin is gonna be my primary color. So this is kind of how I think of it. You have a primary color, you have a secondary color. You could have a thirdary color, if that even makes sense. Most of the time I'll do like a base color. Primary color is gonna be green pumpkin. And then my secondary color is gonna be burnt orange Dalmatian. So now I have this cut in half. Then I'm gonna rip it in half like this. So I'm gonna take this piece, that's gonna be the accent of this jig. Now what I'm gonna do is, on your skirt making tool, it's got like a little cone deal that you can slide your bands up on. So I'm just gonna take a band, and you can load them up as much as you want. If I know I'm gonna make a lot of skirts, I'm just gonna go ahead and load this thing up. But right now I'm just gonna do one because I ain't trying to take up a lot of y'all's time. And then take my little skirt making wire, hook, shank, whatever you call it. You wanna put it in like right on this side of it. Then take your skirts like so. Okay. Then you just wanna hook it right in there, so it's hanging like that, okay? Hanging like that. And you just want to pull it through like so. Pull it through, then stop it about right there. Take your band, pop it on off. And you know, if you go too far up, it's okay. You can always scale it back. So I'll just get that right about where I want it. So that's probably good right there. Then, you know, it's gonna be like it's gonna be all jumbled up at the end where you pulled the band onto the skirt, but don't worry, because you can even it out with scissors. So I'm just gonna cut the tab ends where they have the skirts connected. Make sure you get all of them off. Get all of them off, and then you can even them out later. So right now it's kind of uneven. All I like to do is just kind of pull them up to make sure they're all even. And you can do this once you get it on the jig head as well. So now I got my skirt, got my jig head. Now just wet it with your lips, right there, just kiss it. Kiss the jig. Put your jig right down in the middle of the collar. Then we're just gonna pop it up on the jig head. See, for me, this is a little too short for me. So the cool thing about it is you can just pull these things out, even the top of the skirt out, just like that. That's all I'm doing is just evening them out real quick. My finesse jigs, I like them with a little, like a lion's mane. You know, it just looks, and I got this from a Japanese jig that I seen somewhere, maybe at iCast or something, but I love the way that they did, because a lot of the finesse jigs, the collars, like the mane, are really short and tight to the head almost. I like them where they kind of flare out a little bit. And they look really cool in the water. I think it just gives it a little bit more live action, baby. So that's cool. I mean, you can, dude, I can sit here and mess with it until all these are even. But so that's it pretty much. This jig right here is ready to fish. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not ready to fish, because I got one more thing that I'm gonna do with this jig right here. I'm gonna take another one of these little bands and see how the jig, there's really no poof to it. There's no poof on the bottom side of the jig. And I'm not trying to get it, like I said, like an umbrella. I just want to give it a little bit more poofiness. A little bit more poofiness is all I'm doing. So I'm just going to take that little band and I'm going to slide it up on here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to force it up over top of the collar like so. And what that's going to do is make this jig, it's, you know, it's a little bit of a difference. It's in my head, it's mental, so it's a big difference to me. If I know that collar ain't up underneath there, giving it a little bit of poof, it's gonna mess my head up. So that adds it a little bit more poof, just like that. Then you can trim your weed guard. You know, trim it back just a little bit. Cut it diagonal. You know, just a little bit, not too much. And that jig right there, my friend, is ready to fish. That's a sexy looking jig. I love that green pumpkin orange, dude. Like, you can't go wrong with this color. I don't care. I ain't trying to start no fight, but I'm just saying, you can't go wrong with that color. So that's a quick and easy way to make your own jigs, especially if you can't find jigs. Nobody's got hooks, nobody's got lead, nobody, but whatever. Tackle Warehouse has got the jig heads. They've got the skirt material. They've got the bands. The jig head's already painted with a weed guard in it. And it took me, I mean, I could do this again in like 30 seconds. Don't tempt me, because I can do it. So that jig right there is ready to roll. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have all the links down below in the description for everything that I'm using in this video that you can buy on Tackle Warehouse, all the skirts, the Boss jig heads, the bands, the skirt making tool, even the Bass Mafia tackle boxes, you know, they have them too. Catch me on Instagram, Flip Flop. Catch me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Until next time, we'll catch you on the Flip Flop.
I am off to invisible grounds.
You can like call your buddies over and be like, hey man, let's go make some jigs tonight. Yeah, dude, let's come out. I'll bring a 6-pack, you know, 12-pack, whatever, and crank up some music, put all the jigs on the table and just go at it. Just make jigs, you know, just be creative and whatever. And I'm sure you'll find one that you'll like me, which this is my go-to. Simple, but it works, trust me.
I'll see